Justice Janet Protasiewicz has remained in the hot seat since August. That's when the liberal-leaning justice flipped Wisconsin Supreme Court from a long-standing conservative majority.
Protasiewicz was vocal on redistricting and the state's abortion ban during her campaign, leading Republican lawmakers to pressure the newly elected justice to recuse herself from a lawsuit targeting the state's legislative maps.
Our political reporter Darielle Fair has you covered with an in-depth look at how Protasiewicz pushed back on those threats, stating she will not recuse herself from the case, and what a former Wisconsin Supreme Court justice had to say about that decision. Darielle.
Last Friday, Justice Janet Protasiewicz ignored demands from Wisconsin's Republican legislature to recuse herself from a lawsuit challenging the state's electoral maps after the state Supreme Court announced they would hear the case.
Protasiewicz in a memo stated laws control recusal decisions, not personal preference. The justice says she has the duty to sit.
The Wisconsin Supreme Court rules, ethical rules, are very clear that it's her decision and her decision alone.
Leading up to her decision, House Speaker Robin Vos and other GOP representatives introduced a bill they claimed was a solution to replacing the state's current maps, framing it as an alternative to the conversation on impeachment. Just a day later, Vos announced he created a panel of former Supreme Court justices to advise him on the impeachment process. In an email to Vos on Friday, former Supreme Court Justice David Prosser says no evidence of corrupt conduct exists and any impeachment effort was strictly partisan.
The last couple of months have been pretty ugly for the Republican legislators who were trying to threaten her, in my view. They tried to threaten her with impeachment. They tried to threaten her with ethical violations, and there were no grounds for it.
Geske says impeachment threats may not be over just yet, as she doesn't think there is an issue more important to Republicans than the state's district maps, because that is where their power lies.
While it seems Vos has put plans to impeach Protasiewicz on hold, he responded by saying the justice should have recused herself and the United States Supreme Court would have the last word.